Well, Russia's invasion has had ripple effects across the globe, far beyond the death and destruction in Ukraine itself. More than 8,000 kilometers away, people in Taiwan are watching the world's reaction to Russia's aggression with particular concern. Many in Taiwan see worrying parallels between Ukraine and their own autonomous island, which is off the coast of China. Beijing considers Taiwan to be a part of China, much as Russian President Vladimir Putin says Ukrainians and Russians are one people. And for many other countries across Asia, the war has triggered higher prices for fuel and commodities, including grain and fertilizer, which has hit the most vulnerable people the hardest. Well, for more on all this, we can speak now to DW's chief international editor, Richard Walker, who is in the Taiwanese capital, Taipei. Richard, hello, good to see you. So, what lessons has Taiwan learned from the conflict in Ukraine, and are people there essentially preparing for an inevitable conflict with China?
Well, I wouldn't use the word inevitable, Mariana, but I think you couldn't put a clearer sign of it on it than the announcement today from the government here in Taiwan that they want to increase defense spending next year by well over 10%. Now, it should be stressed that that is not merely a response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Also, the recent Chinese exercises, which have been taking place, military exercises taking place around Taiwan, very much feeding into that decision. But the government here, the President Tsai Ing-wen, has been drawing a direct connection between what's been going on with the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the situation here, saying that what we see in Ukraine is evidence of global authoritarianism on an expansionist course, and that the experience of the Ukrainian people is a lesson to the Taiwanese people about the importance of standing up for their democracy.
Well, Taiwan has seen a string of high-level visits from American officials recently. So has this war in Ukraine, in fact, strengthened international support for Taiwan as well?
Yeah, well, I think you are seeing a lot more sort of signs of solidarity from people around the world, particularly in liberal democracies, of course, for Taiwan. And this is partly a response to the invasion of Ukraine. Nancy Pelosi, of course, the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States, the strongest example of this, she came here to Taipei just at the beginning of this month, talking a lot about the need to stand up for democracies in the face of authoritarians. Very much the same sort of language that we're hearing from the Taiwanese president here. And you've had further American delegations coming since then. There's been a Japanese delegation here just this week. Germans expected to come during the course of the autumn. We've just had reported today that Mike Pompeo, the former U.S. Secretary of State, is also planning to come here in late September. So a welter of parliamentarians, politicians from across the kind of liberal democratic world coming here to Taiwan to show their solidarity. The question, though, will be, what about more concrete questions, not just of solidarity, but what would the world actually do if China were to mount some kind of military action against Taiwan? That's a massive question, not just for countries like the United States, but for countries across here in Asia and around the world. And that question is very far from being answered. A lot of question marks there. I think you can expect a heightened debate about that in the next few months.
DW's Richard Walker reporting for us from Taipei. Thank you.